Hello, 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 guys. What's going on? What's up? How was y'all's day? How was the market? I know how the morning was, but like, what's going on? You can hear. It was a good day. Yo, Dyer. Go Moo. What up, people? Good, good. Please tell me some of y'all caught this down move. Well, obviously, if you're trading with us, this is what you were watching, but y'all catch this Tesla? What's up, Tyre? So just per the norm, it's easier for me to keep track. I'll definitely look at Discord. If you can come in on YouTube, it's easier. So I'm looking in one place and I don't look back and forth and miss things, especially for like continuous chat. But 100%, if you're just watching in Discord, I'll still try to catch up. Not watching in Discord, but following along in Discord. Oh, man. Yeah, Sufyan. This was fun. It was a fun morning. It was like easy kind of breakdown strategies working in Tesla. Chomp chomp. That tagline. What do you mean? When I say when I get it, instead of saying like, that was a ton of action. Yeah, chomp chomp. Well, I have to say something. It's like everybody else is like, you know, you've got Geronimo, what he says. You've got other people. Oh, yeah. Hey, what's up? Mirren Investing. Or MR Investing. Mr. Investing. There you go. My English. My reading skills. Reading comprehension. 0. Marine. Can't read. Just grab Tesla and just death roll that crazy thing. That's all you got to do when it starts trending like this. What up, Dev? It was a fun morning. It's actually been a fun 2 days. I was not expecting this morning. I said it at the end of the show last night with Geronimo. Please don't wake up, child. I said it at the end of the show, like I was coming into today with like no expectations. Honestly, I kind of had the same thought that he did of a small gap up. And then I was hoping that it would turn around and maybe sell off or something. And like I had no idea what was going to happen. But I was kind of like slightly bullish. I want to talk about that a little bit. Death roll the Qs. Yeah, just do take them and just like rip them. From what Geronimo said on the show, y'all called some good moves. You know, I felt like I went golfing. I was like, oh man, this isn't the day to go. But I already had, you know, tea time with somebody else, and I was happy to go. Like, I love going. And it's good to go and do other stuff, even if the market's good, because who cares? It's like it could have gotten bad. Like, how do I know that the market's going to keep going down? Take your money and walk away. You're never going to go broke taking money. You know, you're never going to go broke being done and just locking in trades. So yep, dude, that's if you were only on here for 30 minutes today, I think you caught the best action. Did y'all have some good stuff in the afternoon? The Gator death roll. Yeah, but how would I say that? Like if I'm in it, like I'm just death rolling this thing? Or just be like, death roll, baby. So for tonight's show, yeah, I could try that. We could see how it works. We could. For the, yeah, actually if I'm just like rolling something for longer holds, it could be death roll, because like I'm rolling it, I'm like killing it slowly. You know, I'm taking it and I'm like destroying it. But then for like short little like scalps, just chomp chomp, chomp chomp. You know, I'm just little alligator, just chomp chomping. So it's like different things for what I'm doing. So if you're rolling it, I'm keeping it. I'm rolling that. Like I got a hold of my prey, and I'm not just taking a bite out of it. I'm like rolling the thing, and I'm gonna drag it down. I'm gonna store it under my log. I'm gonna keep eating it. But if I'm just chomping, than I'm just taking, little bites out of something. I like it. Yeah, we'll go there. So tonight's show, I'm going to talk a little bit about ego and trading, and I'm going to do a little bit of a trade review. I haven't reviewed these trades yet from yesterday. We'll just do a little bit of it. It might be a shorter show, and last night was long. Great. I loved, if you didn't watch it, loved talking to Geronimo, having him on. Great show. Go check it out. Good stuff there. My kids are kind of sick, or one of them's sick. So there's a good chance I have to run upstairs. If I keep getting interrupted just for the sake of like my train of thought and all that, I'll probably end the show early. But if it's only once or twice, I'll run up and come back. It usually only takes me, 20, 30 seconds to calm them down. So if there's a point where you are looking, you're like, where'd he go or what's happening, I'll be literally like right back. Other than that, just thinking through, I need to get Discord where I can see it. Who deleted? Oh, you didn't have to delete your comment, whoever in Discord. So, sup, Martin. So for tonight's show, I'm going to talk a little bit about Tesla, what I was looking at today, some of the levels I called, one or two of them when I was waiting for a drop. And then after that, we'll talk about this really quick, this chart in front of us. And then I'm going to do a trade review from yesterday. So we'll watch some live trades. I'll give commentary on my trades from yesterday. I haven't watched them. I don't actually remember what I did, other than I know I ended green. It was a good day yesterday. So we'll watch some of those early so we can kind of talk about them. And then talk a little bit, if I can fit it in, about ego. If not, we'll definitely, I think, come back to ego on Friday's show with whatever guest hosts want to come by. If CT wants to hang out, if anybody else wants to hang out, we'll talk about that on Friday. But I do want to touch on it some here, because I think ego and personality flaws are a big part of traders not succeeding. And the market brings out in you who you are. And it brings out your flaws, and it brings out your strengths, like most jobs do, and like most pressure, things do. When you're under pressure, things come out and things begin to show up. And if you're someone, let's say hypothetically, who's prone to like fighting or anger, or can't lose well, or all these other things that happen, it can affect how you trade, and it can affect what happens when you start losing. And there's a way to fix that, and I'm not a psychologist or a neuro, teaching people how to reprogram their minds to see things a certain way, but I'll tell you my opinions on it and my thoughts on that if I can get through it tonight. And I think I'll talk about that a lot more on Friday's show, so if you want to hear that maybe more in detail with other people, that'll be a topic of conversation on Friday's show. But with all that, that's the plans for tonight's show. I'm Gator. The market's a swamp. Welcome to my corner of the swamp. Let's talk about the market. Let's talk about psychology. Let's talk about, let's see where the night takes us. Yeah, that's it. That's what it is. Overrated? It might be overrated. I don't know, Rich. I do believe that discipline is just habits. Like, you're saying I have discipline. What you mean really is I have good habits. And that's... What up, Blademan? That's really the key, is having good habits and solid habits. That discipline is just habits. It's like what you habitually do, what you do. So you have discipline. You just have a lot of little things that you do that equal discipline. But discipline's not like this big secret, unattainable thing that's over there. You get discipline by the little things that you do in life. You get discipline by the little things you do when you trade to get trading discipline. You get discipline by walking away. You get discipline by doing these things over a period of time. And after you do stuff over and over and over and over and over again, then you actually develop what you would call discipline. Discipline, they say, is like instilled in children at a young age. It's not instilled by doing something once, like you tell your kid no once, and then he's like, okay, now he has discipline. He's never going to listen. It's like having to do something repetitively, having to work through stuff, having to fight through it, having to actually change and adapt, and all these other things are what are going to actually teach you discipline and allow you to actually become disciplined. It's not like any one specific thing that you can do or just do to automatically, like, oh, now you have discipline. It's just automatically there. It's a system of things that happen, and that's what'll get you there. I'm doing the 5K challenge. So the reason I haven't done it yet, I'm in the process of buying a home. I'm in the process of selling my home and moving. And I actually need money. And I actually need to put money into like the home I'm buying and paying it down and so like I actually need to trade with my normal account so I can actually make money. So my lender is looking at it and they're like, yeah, you're okay, and if I'm spending my 2 or 3 first good trades of the day on a 5K challenge, then I'm not making what I could be making. So the reason I haven't done a 5K challenge is I'm in the middle of all of this and taking on a project like that, including recording it and then talking to it and doing all this other kind of stuff, adds something to my plate that I cannot, no matter how much discipline I have, at least right now, I can't mentally do. And I would neglect it. I wouldn't be able to do it well. So the 5K challenge will happen. It will happen this year. This would actually be a good market to do it in, I think, but it will probably happen after I close on my home that I'm buying, which I'm closing in 2 weeks, and then when I sell this one, which will probably be sold at the end of the month, at the end of March. So once all that and I kind of get settled into whatever a new routine is, it may even start in the summer. I would like to start it late spring. It may start in the summer. If I start at late spring, my goal would be to get it done by the end of the year, 5,000 to 25,000. So there is a 5K challenge coming. The only reason it hasn't happened is I have so much going on that I actually need to make the money in my normal account to make sure that everything's squared away for my actual home. And I wouldn't be able to do the proper, I think, videos and everything else that the 5K challenge needs. But you will be getting one of those soon on this channel. Soon meaning this year, not next week. Tesla. Let's talk about this early today. We all traded it, and then I'm going to go live to some videos that I took of my trading yesterday. So it broke down. How do I personally play these continuations low when you never get what we call a Mark 1, which this is a Mark 1. So if you're wondering what a Mark 1 is, what a textbook Mark 1 is, here's one. So 2044, nope, that's technically not one, but that's pretty much close to one. You want a bar after you get a breakdown. You want a bar that closes higher than the previous 1 minute breakdown. So the low, y'all can't see it actually, but the low of the bar that I have the cursor on, let me see if I can adjust my, sorry, I'm messing with my, I'm just going to leave it. So y'all can't see it, but the low of the bar that I have my cursor on here, this green one, is 816.93, and the low of this one is 816.83. So the low of this bar is higher. So the next 1 minute breakdown is a Mark 1. So boom, you take that trade, and then you don't really hold. You don't have to hold that long, but you scalp this short. Then you have another one here. You don't have one here. So that's the idea for the Mark 1. What I look at when I'm playing continuations and how I made my money in Tesla is you're not really getting a rebound. And what you would see on your level 2 or your tape, which we'll see if we see it on the video that I show in a minute when we review what I did yesterday, is every pop in these candles here popped, but there was no, yeah, I would 100% trade Tesla C-Money. That's like the only name I would trade with a 5K account. Maybe some other ones, maybe the Qs or something. Is when these things actually popped, there's not a lot of buying coming in the level 2. And this is a 1 minute chart. So remind me when we're going through my video, and I'll talk about the level 2 a little bit if I don't remember. But when it's popping here, there's not a lot of like volume coming into the pop. It's just like popping a little bit, and it's just kind of like going up, but there's no volume. There's no real buyers coming in. If you look at the level 2, there's nobody like taking it. And what you never get on these continuations is an actual breakout like past this candle high. So what I would look at here, let's say how I would know to take this trade or how I would take it short is, okay, it pops up, it kind of chops around, maybe I took a scalp in here, I probably did. It goes over here, I'm ready to short, but let's say it's up here at the beginning of this candle and I don't know if it's going to break up or break down. Where at the top of this candle is 1959 and the top of this candle is 1949. I know that going into it. So I know what the top of this candle is, I know what the bottom of it is. This candle starts popping up. It breaks 10 cents above, but no buyers come in. So there's no volume. The volume, like you're saying, Rich, just kind of stutters. It just kind of sits there. And then it starts going down. That's usually when I buy, when I'm doing these scalps on a momentum name going in either direction. If you go watch my 17K or 15K Tesla video, you'll see me doing this. I just don't necessarily talk about what I'm saying right now, but in practice, it's kind of what I do. It's, okay, it popped. Okay, it didn't break out. Okay, well, if it didn't break out and there's no buyers, that means it's going down, especially if we're in a bear market or a bull market when things are like flushing and the Qs are flushing and all this is happening. Okay, we failed to break out. We're going down. I'm buying, and my stop is just the top of that candle. It's like, okay, if it goes against me, I'm out. So your stop mentally is just the top of that candle. Then I buy, and it can chop around in this area. Let's say it chopped around in this area for 30 seconds or 40 seconds. And you're going to see a few long trades I took yesterday where I held a little bit longer. Well, I'm already green probably a point on this. This is a $3 candle. So if it drops $2 and it's kind of bouncing around at this bottom level, I'm not buying at the bottom level, at the bottom of this green candle. When it failed to do a 1 minute breakout as the stock is super weak and all this other stuff, I bought up here when the volume failed to break out, and now I'm 2 points in cash up, and I don't know what I'm up in my options, but then it breaks down, and then I decide what I want to do here. I probably would have sold because you're hitting the 1 minute 200, but at that point you can do whatever you want to. You can sell some and let it ride, but then there's no, like, you're not scared of taking the mark one at the level, or at least I'm not, because it failed to break out. And then if it does pop against me, I'm just going to sell. Maybe I break even. Who cares? Like, I was a point up, I broke even. Oh well, I'll take the next one. That's kind of my thought process when I go through it. We break back down. Oh, okay, we break here. You know, we go below the 200. Okay, we're below the 200. We come over here. Same thing happens. We start popping up a little bit. Okay, do we even get to this previous candle high? Do we even get to the 200? No, we kind of pop up. Instead of going down, we just kind of sit around here. Okay, we failed. Okay, so we're an inside candle. All right, we're over here. We went up. Oh, dang. Like, we didn't even try to break out or go to the 200. We're not even retesting, and we're flushing. Okay, I'm back in. It started going down. Boom. Caught some of that. Same thing happens here. Like, I'm out somewhere in here in this trade if I'm doing a scalp, unless I'm just holding the down move. Same thing happens over here. Okay, I got another candle. It failed to break out. Starts ticking down on this one. Like, I know for a fact I shorted this candle here today. It's like, okay, it failed to break out. All right, we're at the next candle. It's at the top of this, which is 1231. The top of these candles are 1250 and 1231. The top of this candle is 1230. It's right there, and it failed to break out. It's ticking down. Okay, I'm in. And then I catch that whole move. Boom, there you go. And I'm pretty sure I held into here somewhere. That's generally what I look for. And then here, it pops up, and this green candle closes at the top, so you kind of know what you're going to do right away. I'm not just jumping back in. I get into this candle. I wait to see what it does. It actually breaks out, so I'm like, okay, I'm leaving this candle alone. I'm not going to take this candle. I'm going to let this candle go. This candle broke out. All right, this candle broke out. I waited. The candle closed. Now I'm in on this candle. This candle, it does actually try to break out. It doesn't break out. It starts going back down. I'm in again. And then you short anywhere in there. You're at the next candle. Same thing. Can it actually make a new high? Nope, can't make a new high. It starts ticking back down. I'm back in again. And I just sell quickly. Like, I can sometimes do 2 or 3 trades a minute. Like, there are times in a 30-minute span on a day like this, unless I'm holding runners or I'm doing something else, like, I have 50 to 100 trades. You know, I'll take in a 30-minute span an average of 2 trades a minute, and sometimes on a trade like that, I might actually take 2 or 3 trades. I'm not recommending that. I think it's probably better, and I've started slowing that down. So now I'm a lot less than that. I'm not taking 50 trades in 30 minutes. I probably take 15 to 30 on a move like this or something. Maybe less, and I hold more runners. But that's what I look for, and I called that out. And I think it was Rose when we were in this area. Like, this happened. This breakout happened. And then this breakout happened. And I said on the mic if that I haven't shorted anything in Tesla here. So I haven't shorted anything yet, guys. I'm waiting. And then I said I still haven't shorted anything. And then right here, I still haven't shorted anything. And what was I looking for? Well, let's go to another chart. Let's go to my 4 time frames. Give me a second to actually adjust these to get them back to that time. And then we'll go to the live video. So it's been working on the down move. At some point, I'm expecting a pop. I don't know where this is. There we go. We're in here at 10:15. This is my 2-minute chart. Let's go over. Another way you could have played this is just that simple. First, you know, red takes green through the 200. And then, you know, look at all this red. So in here, you see your 2-minute chart. I'll move me out of the way. Let me get my face out of the way. There we go. And let's get this chart over. This is the 5-minute chart. I don't care. Oh, what's that? No, I don't want that. Just delete. Get off of my charts. Can I delete this? Okay, cool. Sorry. And here's my 5-minute charts. Oh, this is SQ. Same thing happened there. So I don't know why I cannot remove this. I don't even know what this is. I'm sure I can remove it. This is very annoying. Okay, so I'm going to mess with that later. Do excuse my lack of whatever. It's funny y'all know how to work that. So what I saw here, so what I was looking at, and if you watched last night's show with Geronimo, we talk about bigger time frames. We talk about taking stuff in bigger time frames. So as Tesla was going down, that's what I was watching on the 1-minute. I didn't pay too much attention to the 2-minute until we had a green bar. So I see a green bar on the 2-minute, and let's see, that times up with this 5-minute. So the green bar pops up, and I told you why on the 1-minute chart I never took any of these shorts. I did not lose on a single trade in here because I didn't take a single trade in here, because we were breaking above the first 1 minute, and there was a little bit of actual buying coming in at this level. Not a lot of buying, but relative to all of these other ones, if we quickly go back to a 1-minute chart, you can see all the green volume in here at the first part. There's nothing. There's not a lot here, but there's a little bit more, and then it starts dying out. So as it's popping out, I'm like, whoa, there's no buyers here. We're near the 21 on the 1-minute. On the 2-minute, we're hitting the 8, and on the 5-minute, we're not hitting anything other than this line that I accidentally, oh, there it is, that I accidentally put there. But so we're hitting the 2-minute 8. Okay, so we've got decreasing buyers. We're going into the 1-minute 21 and the 2-minute 8 all at the same time. And this was just a beautiful short. This was my biggest trade of the day. And what I saw, what I was waiting for was a failed breakout. I thought we were going to pop, and I thought we were going to pop a little bit higher than we did to like the 7 area. I thought we were going to go to like 7, like actually test the 21. We failed just before it, but we did hit the 2-minute 8, so that was fine. So you do have a red takes green. This is a legit setup right here. Red takes green, 2-minute, pop up, hit the 8, red takes green off the 8 all day on the 2-minute chart. You could have just played that. How I knew to wait for that was I took it when the 5-minute failed to break out. So you have this 5-minute bar, you have the green bar going up. As soon as this next bar opens, which is right here on this 1-minute chart, it fails to break out. It fails to break above the 21. It instantly fails. It fails. This 5-minute doesn't go. So I just short it, and I'm out. Or I'm short it, and I take that play right there, and then I catch that down move there. And then I was like, boom, that's it, I'm done. And that, I think, was the last trade I took of the day. That was the last trade I took of the day. So I used the strategy. You had the red takes green. You had a close to the 21 setup. The stochastics were at the top. You had a failed 5-minute breakout, which is, I guess you could say, is kind of a pivot point-ish, maybe, maybe not. I think if it would have broken out, I would have left it alone. It didn't. It failed, and then I got right in. So yeah, 9 likes, 27. Yeah, more likes. Yeah, hey, drop a like. If you're watching, drop a like. If you're going to hang out, you might as well like what you're watching. If you don't like what you're watching, you can always, you don't have to watch, but you can watch. Either way, thanks. Thanks. So that's what I was looking at, and that's how I traded Tesla today. I traded until 10:15, till this trade right here. This was the last trade I took at 10:17, and I was like, bye guys, I gotta go, and I went golfing. Really good day today. One of the best days of the month for me. Just trading Tesla, just doing what I just talked about there, scalping those down moves. So let me adjust my screen because I can see that you guys cannot see it. Sorry, I had adjusted things for Geronimo's last night, and it jacked up some of what I'm doing, or some of my stuff. So do bear with me. While I get this size correctly. Technical wizard up in here. Should I put my face here? Or remove my face? Where should my face go? And if you have any questions before I go into my trade review, my boy's still asleep. Yes. Before I go into my trade review, do you have any questions about what I just went over? And then I'll jump into this. How do I pick my entry after it fails to break out? I just go to the next time frame, the next biggest time frame. Like if it fails to break down in this case, I just look for the next point I would enter it at. It's like, oh, it failed to break down. Usually I'm just out, but I wait for another entry point. Like maybe it just sits still. It failed to break down, but maybe it still sits still and it still looks weak, and then the Qs start tanking and I get back in. So I just look for another indicator to get myself back in. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that now. Watching the level 2. Let me move my face out of the way, I guess. It'd probably be easier just to see my charts without seeing me. Boom. Alright, I have disappeared. So this is a video from yesterday, not today. Same principles, I think, apply here. I don't remember exactly how I traded, but let's watch and see what happens. So the market opens. I know I don't take any trades for a minute or two, so let me jump here 30 seconds ahead until I take my first trade. Alright, so it's going to be around, is it around here? Alright, so I have my Tesla contracts pulled up. I'm watching the market. It's a gap down, so I'm looking for a short. I know that things are popping. I know that there's a chance that it could go higher. I'm watching to see what the tape is doing. This is the level 2 over here, if you can see my mouse cursor. I think I changed contracts. I don't like those. I'm not sure what I'm doing. Alright, so I pull up a contract, 835s. So Tesla failed to go higher here. I'm watching the next 1 minute breakdown in the name. So it's like, okay, it failed. It's kind of doing this little hammer thing. I'm still waiting. I'm being impatient with watching my own trades, but I was patiently waiting. So I go in these are puts, 840 puts, ready to buy. I check the low of that level, and should I buy yet? So I'm watching to see if there's any buyers coming in. When I'm talking about the level 2, I'm talking about this up here. What's happening? I'm watching this right here to see if it goes through the low. I'm watching these numbers to kind of see, is there a lot of volume coming in? Are all these blocks getting bought up? What's happening? So what's happening? I'm seeing, is there any strength in the name? Right now it doesn't look like there's a lot of strength in the name. No one's really buying. It's just kind of sitting still. It's just kind of sitting there. You see some red coming in, I got in. You saw when I got in, there's my fill price of 24 or 25.34. At this point now, I'm pretty much a point up or close to it. Like it's kind of jumping around here. If I sold right now, I'd get close to a point, which is $1,000 on 10 contracts, and I'm 3 minutes into the day, and I could have made over 1,000. I don't sell yet. I don't remember when I sell this one, but I think I'm expecting a flush. And I'm actually playing this for a flush. And so instead of taking the grand here, which was probably the better move, I'm just sitting in it. I'm not recommending you do this, so watch. Here's the difference. So when I sell, do I lose here when I sell? I hope I do. Just so I can show you that I lost. So, okay, so I didn't lose. So I got a good fill there. It was bouncing around. So I sold because it didn't do what I wanted. You kind of saw it popping. And here's, let's see, what do I do here? I get back in. So let's see if this works. I don't know if this trade works. That's generally what I was thinking. It's like, I'm going to sell. I'll get back in. Okay, I lose 30 cents there. Let's pause really quick. Did I pause? Let's pause really quick. So, I got to jump back because I accidentally covered the next buy. What just happened there? One, I didn't trust the play enough to play it out, but I was kind of green, and I'm watching this up here. I'm watching the stock level too, and I wanted it to flush faster than that on that first trade. It didn't flush as quick as I wanted it to. I could have held it. I thought it was going down. It's early in the morning though, and I'd rather take some profit than I would not take profit. But here's the risk of holding a trade longer. I was up at one point $1.50 or so, if not more, depending on what fill I got on these contracts. Sure, excuse me, holding a trade longer, need a drink. Holding a trade longer could pay you more. But if Tesla would have ripped there, I would have lost on the trade. So you have to be okay with that when you're doing it. It's no skin off my back. It's no anger if I missed that. If I would have been up 2 points there and then Tesla popped and I lost 30 cents, it would not have bothered me at all in that case. And if it would bother you, take the quick money. Don't sit there and, you know, whatever. Like I didn't take the second breakdown because I was FOMOing it. I was trying to play kind of the momentum. I'm kind of testing the contracts out. You know, I'm up a little bit. It's early. I get in, I get out. You know, I'm like, does it flush? Does it not? How's the price action in Tesla? Is it just going to flush on me? What's it going to do on me? I actually choose just close to the money, and then I go up from there. So it's at 837. I'm playing the first contract in the money. And then I usually, once price improvement comes in, I usually go way in the money, like 20 bucks in the money, and I try to get ones that have bigger spreads just because of price improvement fills, and I tend to make more money in those. I don't make as much money in names that are close. So I take a 30-cent loss there, and that's fine. You know, I'm not, one of my kids, I'm not FOMOing the trade. I'm not jumping in and getting back in. So I jump back in here. I'm not FOMOing for bad reasons. So I still think it's going lower, and I'm in it, and I'm green now, pretty much guaranteed green. It pops, I lose. I haven't lost yet. Did I sell? I did sell. Okay, I lost. So now I'm next to flat or red on the day because I bought as it was going down. So now I've got 2 losing trades. This one was almost a point loss, so I'm probably red on the day now. And now it's kind of going in the direction. Sorry, one of my boys are. So now I'm like, man, I've lost on a couple trades. All right, what do I need to do? How do I need to trade differently? Do I need to wait for a pop? Is it going to break down? So this is kind of choppy action. There's not a lot of just quick selling pressure right here. There's not a lot of like, it's not just breaking down. What I took here was the 2-minute breakdown. The market's going down. The Qs are going down. This is not a C strategy, what I just took. It's just me playing the momentum. It's just me taking the trade as it's going down. It's like, okay, it's going down. The market's kind of selling off. It's a little weak. I think Tesla's going to go lower. You know, I'm now, you know, kind of green on the trade. Definitely green on the trade now. Okay, it flushed. All right, here we go. Finally, it did. Man, if only I would have held from the beginning, I would be up. No, that's not what I'm thinking. It's just, what's the trade in front of me? What can I see? I'm holding this a little bit longer because there's no buyers coming in. The level 2 is kind of bouncing around there. A lot of red coming in. The market's flushing. Geronimo's probably on the mic. You had a day low break there. And so I'm just letting this kind of ride. Maybe letting it ride too long. Like I'm up about 4 or 5 grand right now on this trade. Only 10 contracts. But I got that low a day flush that I was looking for. I zoomed out, if you can see right there, and I see that there's a trend line right below me. The Qs are popping some. I'm looking at my daily chart to kind of see what I'm thinking about. And I already sold the position, and I made about, what, 4 grand on that trade. So now I'm looking at my daily chart here. I have levels you can see that I use, like pre-market highs and pre-market lows. I'm seeing where the 200 is at, so we bounced off the 200, and that's what I was looking at that point to kind of give me conviction or to let me know like, hey, I need to buy, I need to sell. What am I looking for now? So I'm trying to identify what the next trade I'm looking for is. Per what I'm talking about today, we just hit S1. So I'm like, okay, are we going to fail S1? So the bottom of that candle is 829. So I'm thinking, okay, 829, 830. We could get a pop here. Qs are popping up. They're relatively strong. I need the Qs to flush to make this easy. Qs are at the 8. Maybe that's going to go down. What other names are out there that are doing things? Tesla definitely weak. I bought right there because we failed to break out per what I talked about earlier in tonight's video. Now I don't have no idea how this trade goes, but what I'm thinking is, hey, okay, so this is, I lost a point there, which is fine. So that's what happens when it doesn't work. You guys are watching me win, you're watching me lose. I gave back a point. It's whatever. I took it because it failed that level and started ticking down. I got in a little late because I was looking around at some other stuff, and I'm checking my price improvement there to see what I got, to see maybe if I want to change contracts from the 840s. I do. I probably got no price improvement, and so I'm looking for a different contract. I'm still watching this level to see if it fails S2. I changed to the 845s. You can see that there. 831 is what I am now looking at, and I'm seeing if this bid here decides and wants to drop. So it's going 834. Is it going to break out? Is it going to fail this area? Okay, it broke out. All right, I should probably leave it alone. Qs are still popping up. All right, I'm going to leave it alone. I feel like I lose another trade in this area. I'm pretty sure I give back half of what I had made at this point. I was up, what, 4 grand or something. I'm pretty sure I get up like 5 and then give a lot of it back. And then make it back afterwards. So we hit the 8. So per the question asked earlier, somebody mentioned Netflix, I think Geronimo, so I typed that in to get that name up on my chart. So per what somebody asked earlier, I'll pause this. You asked when a breakdown doesn't work. So you just saw what I did and how I showed how I trade Tesla today when it worked, and you had that failed breakout and you go down. I almost always take those for the first time it happens, and it didn't work. I sell, I lose a point. That's just part of the game. That's not like, I don't have to make that money back. If I stop now, that's fine. That's just part of the game. When do I get back in? At the next level, that would be a short. I didn't try to jump back in on that same candle. I didn't try to jump back in again. I didn't try to jump back in yet. I know I'm pretty sure I take another loss here, but now that we hit the 8, now I'm like, okay, Q's hit the 8. Let's see if they fail. Tesla hit the 8. I buy in. Because it fails this level, it pulls down initially when it hits the 8. I got filled at 30.84. I am close to red, green. I might make on this trade if I sell right now. I'm watching the level 2. My eyes are up here on the stock level 2. Probably bouncing back and forth between this options and stock. I know I'm probably green right now. You know, I've been in this trade for however many seconds. And I'm just watching to see what it does. Is it going to break down? Is it going to break down? Is it going to break down? I'm like, come on. Breakdown. 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 We're at S2. I see the Qs there. You also hit VWAP, it looks like. So just like, this is kind of like the danger of when you catch like a 4 or 5 point trade. Like I could have sold this one for a point plus, and I didn't. And I'm not doing that because I want more. Like the trade idea is for it to flush day lows almost for me. And I could have sold some. I could have done, you know, have done something else, but I didn't. I didn't want to. I was pretty confident in the short side in Tesla. And sometimes I'm wrong when I do stuff like this. And when I am, it does hurt, and you can actually, like, you know, start taking some losses. So you have to be cautious, and you have to recognize when this does or doesn't work pretty early. But this is one of those holds where you can sit here, and I'm now up 2 points or a point 50 cents or something in this trade. This is an easy hold for me at this point. There's no stress. I'm now up 2 points in this trade. I'm just sitting there in it. Why? The Qs hit the 8 and they failed. They hit VWAP and they failed. Tesla, you know, broke down there. I'm now, and I sell. There you go. I sold. It started popping back up. You could see buyers coming in into level 2. If we go back, let's look at that. Let's look at why I sold. Let's look at the timing, because this is really important, and I cannot stress how important this part is. This is how I determine, and this is why I watch the level 2 when I sell. So let's go back a few seconds and let's watch this. So here's what I saw. I'm sitting here. How do you know? How do you just hold or not hold all day? Well, the plan was just to hold it. I would have liked it to go through day lows. It didn't. I'm still in the position and it's going down. I'm now 2 points up in the trade. I'm watching the level 2. I'm watching up here. I don't know when I sell. Let me pause this. I'm going to try to click pause at the point when I sell. And I'm going to be watching the level 2. I mean, I guess I could lie, but I'm not. I'm going to sit here and watch the level 2. And I'm going to say, I think when I would sell. And we'll see if I can even repeat that now. So I'm watching it, I'm watching it, I'm watching it, and I am probably about to get out. Why? Why did I get out there? What changed in the level 2? If you want to watch it, go back and see it, and you can kind of watch that too. Like it changed. Like something changed in it. It started, the speed started changing. Some green starts coming in here. It's like I'm watching here, it's going down, the green's coming in, I'm out. Like, it's not all red, it's not just going down. The price is actually ticking up a little bit. Like, the buyers or the sellers aren't coming in as strong as I want them to. I'm out, I'm not holding it. Look at that. I sold that for a little less than 2 points, whatever that is, a point and a half. I would now be down in this trade like 2 points if I would have held that. And what's the difference in seconds there? 10 seconds. So I can lose 10 grand in 2 seconds doing this. That's how important that tape reading on that level 2 is. As soon as it changed, I was done. As soon as it was going down, your ego, your whatever it is, I'll pause this, cannot get in the way of jumping out or of, what's the word I'm looking for? When you take a trade, you have an idea going into it of what you want and what you're trying to accomplish. I wanted that trade to go to day lows. I held that trade for, I don't know, 2 minutes, minute and a half, something like that. As soon as something changed and I didn't like what I saw, it doesn't matter. I'm done. I'm out. Like, it's not what I want. I'm out. That's not what I want. I'm out. Like, you know how quick some of these names can go against you. And I could have lost in that trade. 2 seconds later, I was sitting there watching, and I could tell you from rewatching this level 2 exactly when I would exit. It's the same every day when I do this. Like, I know what I'm looking for when I'm trading. I know the strategy. I know, like, hey, I'm looking for this day low flush. I'm looking for it. It's a little bit slow going through. We did not have increased selling volume. Look at the last 2 1-minute bars there on Tesla. Like, of the selling pressure, not a lot of selling pressure coming in. A little bit of buyers start coming in, I'm out. Just like that. It's like we're not getting increased selling pressure. We broke down. I'm 2 points up on this trade. Buyers are starting to come in. It looks like we're not selling off. I'm out. And it's that quick. And if I was in a long trade and we were sitting here doing long trades, reviewing my trades, we could literally sit here and most of the time I feel like I could tell you when I exited if you just pulled up random videos of me trading. Like if I was to go back through my stuff and just be like, this is when I did, hey, here's your trade, this is what you were doing. I could probably call my exits just from watching the level 2, especially in Tesla. So you really have to get used to watching that and learning kind of how it moves, if it's a little bit choppy, if it's a little bit slow, how your options are moving, how your fills are at. Notice I changed contracts in the middle of trading. I didn't like the PI. I checked the PI. I feel like I got $5 worth of PI on one of those trades. You know, I feel like I got, $5 or something like that. And I was like, ew. And not 5 points, like a literal $5, when usually it's like $500 or something. So I changed contracts. You just got to be able to jump out. And part of successfully scalping is first knowing what you're trying to do, the trade you're trying to enter. And the difference in yesterday and today was when I held these trades like this and I took some of them, it just went through. And there was never any buyers that actually came in. So when I was going down, and I think I called it on the mic a couple of times, I was like, hey, there's no buyers. There's no buyers, guys. Like, this is just, hey, I'm shorting this. I'm shorting this. That's the difference, right? And and I like showing this video today because one, I took some losses, and it actually required me to think a little bit more. Today it was so much easier that I feel like anybody shorting anything was good, and so it doesn't necessarily take a lot of like extreme. I'm not saying it does take skill, it does take all this other stuff, but you're more likely to be right. There were opportunities to be wrong yesterday. I was 5 seconds off taking a 2 grand loss there instead of a 2 grand win just from holding something 5 seconds longer. So when you're doing this, when I talk about watching level 2, reading level 2, you saw what I talked about on the charts today. So the levels that I'm kind of looking for, and I'm watching what the level 2 is doing when we're at those daily levels. So I'm reading the tape, I'm watching how it's moving, I'm in, I'm out. I'm in, and my idea is for this to go to day low. I'm holding it, I'm 2 minutes in, I'm holding it. I was not red when I held that, was I? You're like, oh, Gator's holding. Yeah, Gator was 2 points up when he was holding. Well, you didn't sell. I don't have to sell. Like, I'm not toxic if I lose on the trade. Yeah, sometimes it's better to sell half. A lot of times in names like Google and other names, depending on the day, and if we're not in a strong down move or something, I do sell some. A lot of times I just hold the position. It's 10 contracts. I'm used to trading 30. It's 10. It's like I don't mind holding that and letting it play out some. Today I did a little bit bigger size. And I sold a little bit more as I went on my longer holds today. But I'm not always holding longer. But when I do, I'm not dead set on my trade working like all the way. I was green. I'm out. That's a good trade. I don't care if I could have made more. In my opinion, because of what I was looking for, if you go back and watch the earlier trade that I showed that I lost, that was a fine trade. Like, I could have taken money on it. I didn't, and I lost. That could have happened on this trade too. And the difference is 2 to 3 seconds. That's the difference. That's the confidence you have to have in yourself and your abilities to spot the trades, to understand the level 2, to reach out to catch these levels and all this stuff like that we talk about, that Geronimo was talking about, that Eddie talked about on the show, that I talk about on all these night shows and these trade review shows. And your desire for what you're looking for to work cannot get in the way of what is in front of your face and what's happening. And you have to trust what you see and what's happening and be okay with being wrong. Like, I thought the market was going up today as soon as it opened, possibly. Like, I thought Tesla was possibly going to go up. I thought about taking overnights because I was like, man, it hit the 200, a little bit of this. I wonder, all the war news, but are we going to go higher? Nope. Well, we started off that way, and then nope, we went down. Okay. Am I going to be holding my calls because something didn't work? No. No. That's stupid. Trade what's in front of you. Understand what you're doing. Have a strategy when you go in. But then if the market's not giving it to you, do something else. Don't just blindly hold a trade that went red. Those first 2 trades, when they didn't work, or the one worked and the other one didn't work, what did I do? I sold. I took a quick loss and I took a quick gain. And then I caught a 4-point play because what I wanted to happen actually happened. And then I came back here and I did it again, and I'm like, man, it's not happening. I'm done. And then I'm not going to watch, I think, as far as the trade, just because we're coming up on an hour here for the show. As far as that, the trade reviews, that's just a little bit of something. If y'all have questions about that, I can go back and review parts of it or look at different things. But just because, it's just me, show's going about an hour, I'll probably keep it right at that unless you guys have some questions. But you have a plan when you go into a trade. You have something you're looking for, just like I was talking about early on what I looked at in Tesla today. And if you're wrong, you're just wrong. Like, oh well. I'm not getting locked in and sucked into having to be right. I'm observing. What does the market do? What do I know about these names and how they move? How do these options move? How does this work? How does this work? What am I looking for? What could happen here? What levels are we at? Okay, there's a good chance we could flush this, some downward pressure. Not a lot of buyers coming in. Ooh, those last 2 candles, not a lot of red. If any green comes in, I'm out. A little bit of green prints go off, I'm done. Yeah, it could flush. You could sell, and then you could go 5 points down. Who cares? Man, if I would have held, I would have made more. Yeah, or the other 10 times that happens, it goes the other way, and you lose. It doesn't matter. You know something that you like. You know something that you're watching. And then if it does flush, then maybe next time you play something a little bit differently. Maybe you enter at a different point. Maybe you're watching something different on the level 2. But you just have to be okay with being wrong. You have to be okay with taking those quick losses. I took two or three, I guess, quick losses right there. But at the end of that, because I took those 2 or 3 quick losses and then I sold a gainer instead of holding for what I wanted, which was a day flush and probably a 5-10 point play, or whatever it was, if Tesla would have actually flushed like it did today, I was like, nope, it changed. I'm out. Because that was the trade. I was already green. That was the trade. It happened again today here, and I didn't record today, but on this 5-minute breakdown that I took, and that I called out, like, I did not play, like, I took this. I don't remember how much. Oh yeah, I sold down here somewhere on this 5-minute breakdown because it started ticking up. And I think I might have actually let this 1-minute candle play out and lost out on what I could have made. Like, I think I was up an extra point or something. I was like, let's see if this candle breaks out. And then this candle broke out and I sold right about here. And I'll zoom in some so y'all can see it. Like, I'm pretty sure I bought up here where that break was happening, somewhere in here, and I sold probably somewhere in here when it just looked like some buyers were coming in. Like, you had, because you can tell the difference when you don't have a lot of volume coming in, a lot of tape pressure to the downside, and then all of a sudden a lot of buying pressure comes in on this candle. Like, when it hit this level, I was like, oh, it's not flushing, and I got out. I wanted day lows. I was ready to sit here for 5 minutes and hold it. And I had more than 10 contracts. But I was here, and then I could tell there was not a lot of pressure as far as the continued selling. And then you started getting some buyers, and I'm like, nope, I'm done, I'm out. And that was it. Even though I wanted more, I was looking for more. As soon as the trade didn't give me what I was looking for, I'm okay with being wrong with what I said initially. Like, the initial plan was, hey, I'm taking this here. I think we could get continuation to flush. And I think there's a trend line here that Tesla hit and some other stuff. It was an important level, whatever. But I was like, hey, it could flush here. I took it, and then it was like, oh. And now in the middle of the trade, it doesn't matter what I thought about here previous to entering the trade. What matters is now what I'm looking at, what's in front of me. What do I do with what's in front of me? So what's in front of me is there's not enough selling pressure coming in to get this through day lows, and I see some buying coming in. I'm out. Boom. I'm out, and I'm able to trade the next trade. Maybe I miss it and I get chopped around, and what happens I talked about in the show earlier, or even what happens to me, it's like, hey, you sell, you get back in, and and then you lose, and if you would have held, you would have, you just saw what a lot of people describe to me here. What happens to them is what happens to me in those first 3 trades. It's like, oh, you catch a move, okay, you get back in, okay, you take a little loss or a big loss or whatever it is, and then you're ready. Oh, it goes, then you get back in a little bit late. You got no PI. Oh, man, you sell, you lose a point. Oh, this is the end of the world and nothing. There are 2 ways to do it. There are 2 things you can do. You can either get tore up that you just missed a move, and I missed a 2 or 3 point move. Go back and watch that thing. If I would have held Tesla there, I would have caught 2 or 3 points earlier. I didn't. Instead, I lost a point on that move. Oh well, sucks to be me. I mean, whatever. Just is what it is. Look for the next play. Find the next play. Find the next thing you can do. That's, what's your strategy? What's the next play? Find it and make the next play. And that's how you build off of those 2 or 3 losses. Not getting mad about the last loss or the last missed 2 or 3 points that you could have made. Like, what are you going to do about the past? It's just part of trading. Find the next trade in the next setup and take it. The bid and ask. So, Jay, you asked, when you get in and glance at your fills, do you also give the options bid and ask a quick glance once you're in, or no? Yeah, no. It depends. And I look at everything. So like I'm not so honed in that I'm like this, like just staring. Sorry for the close up on my face, but that I'm just staring at the level 2. Like I'm usually like this. Like I'm leaning back, I'm doing this, I'm looking at it. I'm like, hmm. And I see the level 2 and I'm kind of looking at it and I can quickly like it doesn't take much eye movement to just like glance my eyes sideways and to see the bid and the ask on the options because they're right next to each other if you go watch my fidelity setup video. So you're like, oh, just see my eyes, see that, okay. Okay, I know where I'm at. So generally, I have a general idea where I'm at, especially when Tesla's choppy early. Like those early candles and that early stuff, I'm definitely looking at my options, and I'm glancing back and forth, like in those first trades between my options and my stock, because the volatility in your options can make you money even if the stock doesn't move. So sometimes I might sell just because the volatility jumped up and I'm up 2 points in it and the stock barely moved. I'm like, oh, I'm out. I'm up 2 points or something like that. This is a winning trade and it doesn't look like it's going in my favor. So I'm not solely honed in on the level 2. I'm honed in on the level 2 once I decide I'm going to enter. And like I'm looking to an enter, I'm watching the level 2. Okay, I'm good. And then I'm like glancing back kind of around a little bit. And sometimes moving around I lose because I'm looking back at my option bid and ask. I do lose sometimes doing that in trades because if I was just watching the level 2, I would have exited. But I'll then, once I know my price that I got in at, generally speaking, and once I know like, okay, that's where the bid and that is, and I kind of look. And then if I get a big flush, if the plan was just to sell that quick flush, I get out right away. And then I get out right away, and then I look at where it's at. If the plan is to maybe hold for follow through, I look and see how much that changed the option contract. And a lot of times I'll sell some then, or then that kind of changes. But I do kind of glance around a little bit. And then Jefferson, you asked, is this your current layout for the screen where you execute your trades? So it's actually not. It's for. I did it on a previous show. If you look how I execute my trades, go watch my fidelity video. You'll see how I execute my trades. Fidelity setup video, the newest one, not the original one. What I do for this, like this recording, this is me using OBS software to take different screens and piece them together. So you can see a 2-minute chart here in Tesla, a 5-minute chart here in Tesla, my 9-chart layout here. This is my fill and ask screen from Fidelity, and I just like cut it and paste it at this part of my recording software. And you can see the options bid and ask and the actual stock bid and ask. So Jefferson, that is what so this is just a mishmash of everything that's on my screen brought together so you guys can see it. This isn't what I'm looking at. I've shared my layouts before. So if you go to my TC 2000 video and my Fidelity video, you'll see my layouts. I haven't changed them. And until I move in June, when I move to Georgia, I'm not going to change. Once I get to Georgia, I'm getting new screens, I'm getting stuff, and I'll do a show that shows my new layout and stuff. But generally, it'll be the same stuff, but I'll have a few extra monitors and new office space and stuff like that. That'll be kind of cool. Yeah. I should do like a setup video or something. Thoughts, comments? Am I wasting your guys' time? Or hope not, but like your thoughts, comments, like if there's anything, that you have in here. Okay. Yeah. No changes yet. I am content with how I do stuff. It's kind of like, I don't know, Geronimo said it on a show recently. It's like when you get so used to something, you don't want it to change. And it's kind of like me. It's like once I get into something, it's like, yeah, I really don't want to change what I do that much. It's like even if I change my chart layouts or I change like my Fidelity, I almost get mad at myself for changing them. I'm like, this is stupid. And it might even be better than what I did before, but it's just not what I'm used to clicking. I'm like, this isn't in the right place. Like even my charts and where they are on my monitors. It's like, this doesn't go there. Like I tried to move my Fidelity to my top and have all my charts here in front of me. And then my Fidelity on my top monitor, I've got like a 24-inch and a 30-something inch monitor stacked. And I was like, and I was looking up there trying to like execute my trades up there with my charts down here. And technically it's probably better for a setup, but oh man, I'm just like, I'm losing. I'm not doing this. And I just moved. And it's just funny. Even though technically I probably like that better. But yeah, thoughts. I hope the Tesla review. I don't want to go through the rest. I had a really good day yesterday. I continued to trade well, and I made more than this. This was about 5 grand. Um, at this point in the day, I could have logged off and been done. Most days I would. I didn't do too much trading. I feel like at one point I gave like 40% back or something. I can't remember when, and then I made it back plus some. I don't remember what I did, but just because of time, I'm not going to go through a lot of that. But I like the trades that I accidentally kind of showed, because you see some early losses. You see me jumping in and kind of chasing the breakdown and it not working, which happens, and I should have traded that a little bit differently. You see me recovering from it. You see me catching a move and why I get in. And what I was looking for to happen was what happened today, which was that follow through to the downside. But it's really important to realize when that's not happening. It was like on that one move when Tesla flushed when I made the $4. If you go back and watch it, watch how the like level 2 is moving. Look how it looks different, and looks how the volume looks different on that flush. Children's waking up. To the earlier flush, or that failed. The flush that failed. So you can kind of see the difference in those two. So one of my kids are waking up. I'm going to go take care of them. Thank you guys for hanging out tonight. If you have any questions, you can always hit me up in Discord. If you want a link to the Discord, throw a comment in, and I will take care of that. I'll get you a link to it. I appreciate you guys hanging out. It means a lot to me. If you watch this, you'll leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Thank you so much. Get some rest, guys. I'm probably not going to tonight, so sleep for me. I will see you guys tomorrow in the NewsBeat live room or in Discord. Have a great one.